Welcome, everyone. We appreciate you being here this evening. As the graduates enter the stadium, we'd ask that all of you stand until all have arrived or entered and are seated. So at this time, we'd ask that you please stand. The students will be led in by Ben Zigament, the senior class valedictorian. Graduates and guests, you may be seated. Good evening. My name is Terry Hoganson, and I am the principal at Muscatine High School. It is an honor to stand before you and extend my warmest of congratulations to the class of 2020. I am grateful to everyone that is here today to celebrate our graduating class. Before we begin, I want to recognize all the individuals that made today possible. I want to thank Chris Meeker, Allie Meineke, Melody Edkin, Doreen Bordy, Carrie Hawkins for their assistance in making tonight happen. I want to thank our parent and student advisory team that helped to guide our thinking when designing the ceremony. I want to extend gratitude to Jeff Miller and the maintenance and custodial team that have worked to make sure this event transpired smoothly and efficiently. Thank you to Chris Anderson and Chad Bishop for their help in streaming the event, to all of those individuals that wanted to be in the stands but were unable to. I want to express appreciation to all our school board members that watch over our district with care, focus, and passion. I also want to take this opportunity to introduce Clint Christopher, our new superintendent, who is with us tonight. Thank you for being in attendance. Finally, I want to extend gratitude to Dr. Jerry Reeby, our retiring superintendent, for his diligence in supporting the Muscatine school system. Under his care, we have grown and improved in innumerable ways. At this time, I would like to have a video shown of Dr. Reeby, who couldn't be here today, but wanted to acknowledge the class of 2020.
I want to congratulate the class of 2020 on your high school graduation. You certainly did it under some unusual circumstances, and through that entire time you remained Muskie strong. I also want to challenge you as you transition to your next phase of life. As a nation, as a state, as a community, we need your commitment to be the best citizens possible. We need you to stand tall for those who can't. We need you to point your moral compass due north and always try to do the right thing. And rather than pointing your finger, we ask you to extend your hand to try and help those that may need it. And remember that hate is the ugliest four-letter word. So again, congratulations. Stay strong, stay safe, and remember, once a Muskie, always a Muskie.
Additionally, it is great pride that I'd like to recognize all Muscatine Community School staff. Without the guidance of great educators from preschool to 12th grade education, our class of 2020 wouldn't be sitting in front of you today. If you are a Muscatine District staff member, please stand and be recognized. I would also be remiss if I didn't mention that Al Hilton will be introducing all of our students today as they cross the stage. He is retiring this year, and I want to express our appreciation for all that he's done for our school district. Thank you, Mr. Hilton. I would now like to introduce to you Ben Zigman, our valedictorian, and his parents, Kara and John Zigman. Would Ben's parents please stand to be recognized? Thank you.
This evening, I have the great privilege of introducing to you the young men and women who have chosen to devote their lives to serve their country. By joining the military, they have accepted the noble task of maintaining and protecting the freedoms we enjoy each day. As I read your name, please stand to be recognized. I would ask that you please hold all applause until all the names have been announced. Additionally, you may notice that some of the graduates announced are not present tonight, as they have already departed to begin their training. Zach Hardy, U.S. Army, son of Mr. Bob Hardy and Miss Jennifer Lesline. Justin DeFosse, U.S. Navy, son of Ron and Jennifer DeFosse. Philip Smith, U.S. Navy, son of Janice and Andy Smith. Riley Kaufman, National Guard, son of Ashley Morgan. Mason Miller, National Guard, son of Tasha Anthony. And Brandy Howard, National Guard. Would these individuals please remain standing? And I ask that you please rise for the singing of the national anthem by Ms. Kenzie Lofgren.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Mackenzie. I now have the great privilege of presenting the commencement address. Graduates, parents, faculty, and administrators, good evening. While I will not make these next few moments about reminding you all of the daunting issues currently occupying our national consciousness, it would be remiss to not first commend the faculty and administration of Muscatine High School for their extraordinary efforts in ensuring that we could be here today. Despite numerous challenges and a less than conventional format, we are nevertheless here. So thank you. Secondly, to you, the class of 2020, you have overcome numerous obstacles, whether it be the emotional pain of not being able to connect with friends and support structures in person, the academic difficulty associated with completing classes, taking AP exams online, juggling jobs, or taking on responsibilities at home. You did it. Our generation has seen far too much tragedy in its lifetime and continues to see more. Yet at the same time, it is the most inclusive and progressive generation the world has ever seen. For that, you all deserve the highest commendation. You have become not only students in a classroom, but leaders in a society which desperately needs them. You have done and continue to do an amazing job. So congratulations. You truly deserve to be celebrated today. Over the past 3 months, I have had an opportunity not typically afforded to seniors because of busy schedules and hectic lives, the time to reflect. Reflect on the past 18 years. In doing this, I have come to the overwhelmingly clear conclusion that I did not and could not have made it this far on my own. Far from it, in fact. There have been people all throughout my life, parents, teachers, friends, and mentors who have helped me in ways that I could not possibly hope to fathom or repay. But there is something I can do, something we all can do, that I should have done more often than I did. That is, say thank you. Well, I could not possibly hope to individually thank all the people who have helped me get to where I am today. I have chosen just one. But if each of us says thank you to just one person today, then I am confident that everyone in the audience will hear it at least once. So I'll start by thanking not only my mom, but all the moms in the audience. If your mom is anything like mine, which I'm sure she is, being a mom and such, she is one of the kindest, most caring, and compassionate people in your life. She is there in your triumphs, but more importantly, when you stumble and fall, to pick you back up, listen to you cry, and tell you that it will be okay. 18 years ago, they put their lives on hold to help us start ours, spending countless hours caring for us, often to their own detriment. So thank you, Mom, and all the moms in the audience. We would have never made it this far without you. Reflection is inherently about looking back, seeing where we've come from, and thinking about how it has changed and shaped us. However, it is often meaningless without looking forward. Looking towards the future, whether it be tomorrow, next week, or next year, has been a common theme throughout our senior year. Oftentimes, the ever-present question from those in your life, what are you doing next year? Which you have had to answer far too many times or spent countless nights stressing about. But sometimes I ran into a much more loaded, convicting question. This is your last year. What are you going to do with it? The problem with this question is that it was never just asked in passing like the previous one, but asked by someone who I cared about and respected, whose words and opinions mattered. No matter who asked me, and no matter what it was about, whether a team, club, or church group, it always had the same effect, the realization that I have been given and learned so much by being a part of these groups, and the question of how can I ensure that it survives and thrives after I am gone, so that my younger peers can hear that same question when they are in the position we are in today. This pushed me to do things that I didn't want to or feel comfortable doing in all areas of life. While I did do something, I could have done more, as one almost always can. I'm sure those of you who encountered that question did something too. Well, what we did is undoubtedly important. What we learn is more critical. This question taught me that there is no time like the present for change, to live with abandon. Not reckless abandon, but abandon. To understand that this life is temporary and that it is meant to be used. So this is my challenge to you, the class of 2020. Go out into life and live every year like it is your last. Make the changes you want to see happen. Start the work so that the people around you and the people who come after you can help you finish. And don't forget to say thank you. Congratulations, class of 2020. I wish you the best. You are truly one of a kind, so go and show it to the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben, for representing the best of what Muscatine has to offer. At this time, we will be playing the Battle Hymn of the Republic, a long-standing tradition in the Muscatine Community School System.
Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. Our eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the faithful lightning of his terrible sword. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. His truth is marching on.
It is now my honor to introduce to you Ryan Lakaranen, who will present his thoughts about the class of 2020. He will then introduce the students that are in the top 5% of this class. After the introduction of 5%, he will also have the privilege of introducing students that are receiving silver, gold, and white cords. At this time, Ryan.
Thanks, man. Nailed it. Hello, friends and family. I know that our situation today isn't ideal, but I am grateful that we have the chance to experience this ceremony. Tonight, let's forget whatever it is that's bothering us, be it the virus, the quarantine, or toilet paper. Tonight, let us celebrate the last 4 years of our life at Muscatine High School. We've all been through our own trials and tribulations, academics, sports, learning independence. It's been crazy for sure. But that's what made it all so wonderful. When I remember all the times I screwed up in some random way, I shake my head and smile, wishing I could go back in time and let my past self know that he'd do all right. I'm hoping that's the case for everyone. In fact, I want you to look back on your most embarrassing failures and laugh them off, because they've shaped all of you into the people sitting here today. Underneath this sea of purple caps are people that have worked hard to get to this point, and you'd better be proud of that, because you are the class of 2020. You've had to cope with bigger problems than most graduates, but you stayed true to yourself and finished the year. Though I'm certain several people were probably happy to get out of finals. Even though we're all unique individuals, we've all had a shared experience getting to this ceremony. Now, as our class gets ready to enter the world as grown-ups and we kiss our childhoods goodbye, I feel like, in a way, we're all a family. A family that is now going in its own separate directions. That shouldn't make you sad, however. You should be proud to have kept your head high through the tough times, so that we could all finally change the world like we've always dreamed. Today, as we leave behind the old and embrace the new, I'm proud of our family, and I wish you all good luck in the years to come. Thank you. Thank you very much. Love you all. I now have the great privilege of introducing to you the top 5% of our graduating class. These students worked remarkably hard and put in tremendous effort to get to this point today. They chose rigorous courses, putting countless hours of studying, even at the cost of missing other events, and constantly strive for greatness to receive this honorable recognition. All recipients have already received their medals in advance of today's ceremony. As your names are read, please stand and turn towards the stadium. Please hold your applause until all the names have been read. Carlos Acuna, Lauren Durth, Zachary Eversmeyer, Chloe Finn, Elizabeth Howard, Mackenzie Lofgren, Ryan LeCaranen, Bailey Mergen, Kirsten Osland, Lily Posey, Brian Prusman, Claire Raker, James Salt, Benjamin Spellman, Whitney Winter, Emily Webking, and Benjamin Zigament. Please join me in congratulating these students on their amazing achievement. Thank you. At this time, I would like to recognize the hard work and dedication displayed by classmates and peers. As you look over the graduating class of 2020, you may notice that many of them are wearing a variety of different cords. These cords represent different critical aspects to the students in regards to their education, as well as their selflessness towards others. I will now recognize each cord and its significance. Students, please stand and face the crowd while I announce your cords. Audience, please hold your applause until the end of each group. The silver cord recognizes students who have completed 160 plus hours of volunteer service. There we go. The gold cord recognizes students who have maintained a grade point average of 3.0 or higher for the 4 years of their high school education. The white cord recognizes the students who are in the top 20% of their graduating class. The honors medals recognize the students graduating with honors. These students took a rigorous course sequence and maintained a GPA of 3.5 or higher throughout their high school careers. Congratulations on all of your achievements, class of 2020. Let's give the seniors one final round of applause to commend them on their accomplishments. Thank you all again.
It is now my honor to present the class of 2020. Members of the Board of Education, Dr. Reeby, Mr. Christopher, ladies and gentlemen, and honored guests, on behalf of Muscatine High School staff and administration, I am proud to announce that these students have completed the requirements of the State of Iowa Department of Education and the Muscatine Community School District. We are now ready to award diplomas. As a reminder to the audience, one of the greatest moments in a graduate's life is hearing their name called as they walk across the stage. With that in mind, I ask respectfully that our audience refrain from applause until all the graduates' names have been called, so that each student and family member can have their special moment. At this time, we will start the distribution of student diplomas. Ben Zigament, Mackenzie Lofgren, Ellie Howard, Ryan LaCarinen, Manuel Acosta, Jacqueline Bateau, Hannah Shield, Jessica Dundee, Christopher Rainier, Carlos Acuna, Andres Alvarado, Carter Ames, Trevor Anderson, Christian Aguirre, Abigail Anson, Haley Arajo, Leah Armstrong, Marco Barboza, Hunter Bassett, Olivia Baston, Adamaris Batista, Marcos Bartista, Ariana Bean, Gage Beard, Elizabeth Becker, Wyatt Bender, Isabel Benitez, Timothy Berger, Riley Blake, Joaquin Bobet, Ashley Bowling, Naomi Booth, Grace Bowman Carpenter, Sean Brown, Ashley Brugman, Brig Burbach, Lucas Burkamper, Devin Burke, Spencer Calcott, Madison Campbell, Mercedes Cardoza, Gabriela Carrillo, Nicholas Carter, Darian Carter, Cedric Castillo, Amy Cavazos, April Casillas, Ani Ceniceros, Katrina Chapman, Jamikamar Chuardi, Gilberto Covarrubias, Hannah Mae Clark, Zaya Colon Cavazos, Macy Connor, Tanner Cook, Evan Cooper, Mason, Tatum Costas, Hannah Coulter, Logan Cunningham, Sydney Cox, Drake Daniels, Caroline Dom, Justin DeFossi, Kendra Degner, Raylyn De Leon, Gabrieline Dennis, Emily DeVore, Naomi Diaz, Lauren Dirth, Zachary Doherty, Dawson Douglas, Jorge Doñez, Keegan Eberhard, Brady Elder, Aaron Elsoff, Abigail Enriquez, Kevin Erber, Victor Isu, Lucas Evans, Zachary Eversmeyer, Geraldine Farrar, Sadie Fillmore, Chloe Finn, Ethan Flynn, Miranda Four, Abigail Falk, Jasmine Francis, Brandon Gamone, Leo Garcia, Gabriela Garcia, Alyssa Garcia, Tamara Garrido, Megan Gibson, Kaylee Goddard, Simon Golden, Hector Gonzalez, Haley Green, Susie Gutierrez, Abigail Haller, Catherine Hansen, Carson Harder, Zachary Hardy, Ethan Haith, Dalton Hetzler, Colton Hitchcock, Ryan Hoper, Seth Hoffman, Carter Holmes, Brady Holmes, Samantha Hopkins, Alexis Hopkins, Alexa Huerta, Kayla Ibarra, Junior Jimenez, Xander Jensen, Amari Jones, Cannon Jones, Kyra Jones, Madison Keller, Adraviana Kelly, McKenna Killian, Sydney Kleindolf, Kirsten Kraus, Drake Krusenstein, Summer Labath, Brianna Lassiter, Elena Lee, Yasmin Victoria Lenhard, Lauren Leddington, Bryce Lavad, Madeline Legis, Natalie Lingle, Shelby Little, Ruby Lopez, Brianna Lopez, Margaret Manjoin, Louis Mann, Carolina Martinez, Anthony Mathias, Brooks Mathis, Ronnie McCoy, Brady McDaniel, Gracie McDonald, Jose Medina, Bailey Mergen, Seth Metcalf, Justin Miller, Mason Miller, Keegan Miller, Briggs Miller, Gage Minder, Sadie Morales, Kaylee Mitchell, Ethan Moomey, Mackenzie Morris, Camilla Mulder, Rachel Mulliken, Autumn Murphy, Gloria Neda, Ara Nieves, Troy Nichols, Isaac Nichols, Christina Nichols, Dakota Nicholson, Emily Nitzel, Brody Nugent, Solmarie O'Neill Torres, Landon Oberly, Alex Oppel, Lainey Ortiz, Kirsten Oslin, Tyler Owen, Manan Patel, Morgan Pelton, Ricardo Pena, Olivia Perales, Alicia Perales Castillo, Jenna Perez, Riley Perrin, Matthew Peterson, Christopher Pittman, Lily Posey, Caitlin Powell, Brian Prusman, Anieli Rada, Hunter Randleman, Angelina Rangel, Claire Recker, Michael Reeves, Hope Reichert, Micah Ryland, Elizabeth Reist, Hannah Reynolds, Draven Ribbick, Cord Ribbick, Carter Riley, Andrea Rodriguez Navarro, Mia Rodriguez, Elijah Roth, Natasha Rojas, Drake Root, Madeline Rudolph, Hope Ryan, Matthew Saltz, Emma Sand, Jalen Sanders, Nicholas Sheeper, Tegan Schmelzer, Brayden Seaman, Giovanni Serrato, Melanie Chopa, Nathan Sides, Javier Sixtos, Philip Smith, Madison Snyder, Tiffany Soborowski, Esther Sobe, James Salt, Ryan Saltwettle, Benjamin Spellman, Ryan Statz, Aiden Staker, Brianna Staley, Benson Storr, Alyssa Strand, Jasmine Stewart, Thaddeus Swales, Jarrell Sweat, Dawson Sweat, Elisha Swisink, Janelle Tapia, Jonathan Taverna, Connor Taylor, Kelly Taylor, Jacob Thomas, Grant Thomas, Trey Thorne, Takpor Tia, Madeline Tigret, Eileen Toledo, Jaden Tubant, Andrew Van Nice, Diego Vasquez, Pablo Velasco, Rachel Wagner, Delaney Weber, Kylie Whitlow, Andrew Whitworth, Jordan Whitworth, Samuel Wieskamp, Hannah Wieskamp, Grace Williams, Whitney Winter, Katrina Wisniewski, Emily Wepking, Ridge Wolf, Nolan Wolf, Logan Wiley, Danielle Woodford, Katie Woodward, Damian Yort, Ellie Youngbauer, Luke Zobel, ladies and gentlemen, Muscatine High School graduating class 2020. Something tells me we're done in about 10. So as soon as everybody gets seated, it's going to move pretty fast.
I would do that all day long. For a week if I had to. That was awesome. Maybe we can do it outside next year too.
If you even mention that to Miller, he'll probably kill both of us. He has been a cat in a hot tin roof all day long.
God bless him. He's a little reactive anyway.
You think? You think just a little? I think we're getting close to being seated.
That really looks nice with pictures down there. I mean, afterwards.
I think this whole thing is actually, so far, knock on wood, been doing pretty good. So. Yeah, that'd be fine. Be seated. Just want to make sure they're all seated in the back. Okay. All right, we're now ready for some closing remarks, and then Ellie Howard will be coming up here and presenting a little bit and finishing this off for everyone. So I'm going to start off with just my closing remarks. Wow, what a year. Unique doesn't even start to describe your senior year. I've thought about this address for months. What do I say a class that's overcome so much? Then it hit me. The essence of this class is resilience. As your class walked through the maze we call high school, you remained resilient. You took everything that you faced with a quiet confidence and a belief in yourself and each other. My dad was a World War II veteran, and I would ask him how he dealt with war, loss, and the stress of battle. He would answer in the following way: you never know what you're made of until you're put to the test. You'll never know how far you can rise until you're given the chance to rise. Some of his fellow soldiers faltered, but most stepped forward and found a strength that they didn't know they had. I feel this way about this class. You've been challenged and you've faced adversity, but in the end, you rose. You displayed a strength that maybe you didn't even know that you had, but it was there when you needed it. Thanks for facing that adversity of your senior year with strength, courage, faith, and confidence. Each of these qualities will serve you well in life. I am proud to be your principal, and I only wish you the very best. Take your Muskie pride with you wherever you travel. Share it with others. Be proud of who you are and continue to carry yourself with that special strength and resilience that you've displayed this year. Be difference makers in this world. Be a light where there is darkness. Congratulations, class of 2020. At this time, the retiring remarks belong to Ellie Howard. So if we could have you come to the stage, please.
Good evening. In case some of y'all don't know me, my name is Ellie Howard, and I was the student body president. When I was little, I moved around a lot, and I could never imagine what high school I would graduate from. I definitely didn't think it would look like this. When my family moved to Muscatine, I thought it was just another step along the way. But in the middle of my junior year, I realized I would be wearing a purple cap and gown, walking across the MHS stage. In the March of this year, I realized if any class could push for any type of ceremony, it would be us. Maybe with a little help from our parents. I've been waiting for this day to come a little longer than originally planned. I've just been waiting until the day in which I could say I was officially done with high school. The entire time we've been posting Senior Sundays with the captions, "Only 184 days left, and is graduation here yet?" We almost forgot to take into consideration the memories we'd make along the way. I know it's cliche to say that the journey is better than the destination, but it truly is. I'm excited to walk across the stage more than anything, but I would never want to fast forward through the last 4 years of my life. I would never want to give up the memories from all the high school dances, even the ones when the lights were turned on, or trade the nights that I spent at the high school during Senior Survivor, waking them up at 1 a.m. with dog toys. I'm a little sorry about that one. I would never want to fast forward through all the van and bus rides that consisted of girls singing way too loud and the coaches only being a tad annoyed. I don't want to forget the time Mr. Guerra emailed his AP Lit students telling us we were Karate Kid and he was our Mr. Miyagi, and to go defeat our AP test like it was Johnny the Blonde Punk. And every other motivational email received from teachers before, during, and after finals. So as most speeches do, I will give you one piece of advice. Stop and smell the white roses. That's our class flower, for those of you who don't know. Take each day as it comes and make memories while you're at it. Oh, and don't forget to thank your parents. After all, they were your chauffeurs to a lot of extracurriculars for many years. They woke up at 6 a.m. to make our lunches and make sure we got on the bus on time. They spent a lot of time working concessions and sitting in bleachers or just very uncomfortable seats to just cheer us on. They do way more than we could ever imagine. So I guess that's 2 pieces of advice. Congrats to us for finally making it. We beat the odds, took way too many standardized tests, battled a virus, quarantined for several weeks. If we can do all of that, we can achieve anything. Class of 2020, we are truly the type of class that doesn't happen very often. And with that, I will ask all the graduates to please rise. Representing the end of our time together and our next step forward, please move your tassel from the right to the left. Following the signature song of Dora the Explorer, we did it! Now let us celebrate as official graduates of Muscatine High School and flick your confetti sticks on 3. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations, class of 2020. We did it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our ceremony. Graduates, we're very proud of you. Go forth and make a difference. And then you will be dismissed by sections as you go out for the parents. The rest of you, we're all done. There you go. Very happy. I can finally just breathe. I have been so. Oh, this is great. Thank you, John. Thank you. Good job. I look at this now. Not having this would have been a tragedy. It is. This is. All right. Thank you.